Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to a student success story with one of our students in the program, Benjamin Yost, who's killing it at the moment. So he's come to join us to share a little bit about his experience of working with me and being part of the Lifestyle Marketing program. What's up, Benjamin? You all right?
Yeah, doing good, man. How are you doing?
All good, my friend. All good. So we'll dive in, and if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where do you live, etc. Just give us a little bit of background, please.
Sure thing. Yeah. My name is Benjamin. I grew up in Indiana, in the United States. I went to school out there, so I went to IU and university. Graduated, started traveling a bit, did the teaching gig for a little while. Was a dive master as well for a little while, but didn't have a lot of like growth plan for career wise, right? Increase my earning level. And I kind of stumbled upon the program through a friend of mine from college. And he told me what he was doing. We were kind of on the same kind of traveling path, and hooked me up with that. I live in Argentina now and have a pretty successful business thanks to the program.
Good, man. So just take us back to, you said you did the kind of traveling thing. Whereabouts did you go? What were you doing there? Just tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about that, please.
Yeah, so I've been kind of all over the world in the past 5 years. I've lived in Asia and Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Indonesia, was in Nepal for a bit. And then I've been all over South America as well, and Central America and the Caribbean. So yeah, I mean, and throughout those places, I was always working, like kind of just scrounging to do what I could to continue moving forward, you know. But I never had something, like I said, there was always an income cap on that, and it was usually pretty low. I think the highest one that I had was teaching English online, and that gave me like the amount of freedom that I wanted, and a pretty decent income level. But there was like a cap to that because it was, obviously I could only work so many hours in 1 month, because that's all that was available, right? So it wasn't like I could get a promotion to get more money.
Yeah. So you faced like a glass ceiling type thing.
Yeah, and there wasn't any like I couldn't go from like English teacher to super English teacher. It was just like that's where I'm at. I'll be an English teacher, and this is the level I get paid, and I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. So.
Got it, man. How did it affect any other kind of areas of your life teaching English? Did you enjoy the work, or what was kind of just tell us a little bit more about that. Why
like
still teach English is the question.
yeah, like in the classroom, I absolutely hated it in Thailand. Like it was just not a good experience for me. I didn't enjoy it very much. I didn't mind, teaching online so much, but the set hours were pretty rough, especially if I was visiting family in the States. I was teaching like 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. And here in Argentina, I would teach, 7 a.m. to 11, 6 a.m. to 11, which is not terrible. That's pretty decent. And then in Asia, when I was living in Asia, when I was teaching online, that was in the afternoon, evening, which again is not terrible, but it's still like, if I want to go out for beers with friends, it's like I would miss dinner and I'd finish around 9 p.m. and then I could go and meet them at a bar. So I was never like at dinner, I wasn't able to do those kind of things. So yeah, I mean, that part of it was kind of annoying where I couldn't have my own kind of set schedule. I had to commit to certain hours every day. I could change them, but I had to commit to some hours every day, set times.
Got it, man. So when you said you heard about the program through through one of your friends, now honestly, how did you feel when you heard your friend was involved with the program, and like, what did you genuinely, think when he told you about the program? Were you skeptical or?
Oh, I thought it was a scheme at first. When he told me, I was like, dude, you're goofy. You just got ripped off, And we talked about it for a while. We both studied business together, so that's how I know him. And we talked about it for a while and what he was doing. And I had done some research prior to taking this course, because I was looking into transitioning into a different kind of job, working with data solutions or anything like that. So I had looked into like digital advertising and, done my own kind of research on it, but didn't really have a good foundation in place for how to build that.
Yeah.
So when he started telling me about these things, I was like, oh man, that's actually, usable and valuable information that I've been looking for, right? And I just didn't know where to find it. So when he told me that was, what he was learning, I was pretty interested in it.
Yeah. And then you pulled the trigger, and here we are.
Yeah.
So obviously, you've been in the program, what is it, about 9 months, roughly?
Yeah, since last December.
Yeah, and obviously the first, 6, 7 months or so in the program, you were doing other things at the same time, weren't you? And you kind of built up your own business to what we're making about $1,000 a month on the side.
Yeah, I would say on average, like it was a part-time gig for a while because I was still teaching online, because that was steady income for me while I was starting. And so on average, I was coming up with about $1,000 to $2,000 a month when I was starting out.
Got it. So now obviously we're kind of 7, 8 months into the program. Something's happened over the last 30 days-ish, where I've really seen a massive change in you, your commitment to achieving your goals, your commitment to the program, and the time and the effort that you're actually putting in to get the reward. So over the last 7 or 8 months, you've been plodding along at, $1,000, $2,000 a month, which in itself is like, not necessarily a bad result for, a lot of people just jump in and they want a kind of side income to supplement the teaching. And that's kind of what it was for you to begin with, wasn't it? But up until 30 days ago, it was about 30 days ago, wasn't it, that you really put your foot down? Can you just kind of walk us through, why did you suddenly put your foot down 30 days ago? What's lit the fire behind you, and what have the results been over the last kind of 30 days of, putting your time and energy into the program? What's happened?
So I mean, I had like a bit of a turbulent 6 months leading up to this month, where I've just really had the time and energy to focus on this. A lot of things were going on in my life that were just turbulent, I would say. But once I had the chance to really like buckle down and focus, and turn this into, my business, like take charge and turn it into my business and start to scale it, really come up with a plan to scale it, and focus on providing value to my existing clients, was something that really changed. And, I was able to, like you said, I was making about $1,000, $2,000 a month on the side. And, I was able to really hone in my skills and work on retaining current clients. And I scaled to about $7,000 per month this past month through basically doing exactly what you teach us in the program, which is basically providing the value to our clients. And what that did was it set me up with, positive references and positive referrals from other clients. And it allowed me to scale really quickly. To a point where...
What about a sense of fulfillment? I know you posted something in the user group the other day, obviously good feedback and reviews from your clients. So it's wicked, you're making $7,000 a month. Now after putting in the time and effort, just over the last 30 days to accelerate your progress. But what about providing value to people's lives? How does that,
Oh, I mean, I get off on that. That's huge for me. The money is secondary to when I get on a call with a client. They're like, yeah, I'm really happy. This is fantastic. And they're totally getting their money's worth. I have a client, Casey, that's the lady that I posted in the group. And, she was talking about she's closing 80 to 90% of the leads that I send her, and she's getting them on a, regular basis. And that she was overwhelmed at first, which is like, that makes my head get huge, because I'm like, whoa, it's like, you're overwhelmed. That's great. For me, it's like, that's great. And so, that's huge. I love to hear that from my clients. And I've got 2 or 3 they're in that boat right now. We're working on the other ones. Obviously that's my goal for everybody, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah. So how many clients are you currently working with? Just how does that $7,000 break down? What's the kind of average retainer that you're working on?
I have 5 or 6 clients. The average retainer is about $1,200 right now per person.
And what are you intending to do with your business moving forward, you know, over the coming 1, 2, 3 months? What's the plan?
Yeah, so I'm just going to continue to scale. I'm introducing a referral incentive to my like rock star clients because they obviously are going to be fantastic voices for my business. And they have been in the past. And that's something I've been starting to do, is introducing a referral incentive for them to send me referrals, because I can close those like at a 98% rate, you know, super easy. And so that's what I'm going to focus on building.
Got it. And the results that you've obviously achieved over the last few months, but this month particularly, how has that affected and impacted your life? You say you're now living in Argentina. Who are you living with? How is it affecting you and, you know, your ability to grow and build this business on your own terms, on your own time? How is it affecting your life, like in not just financial areas, but perhaps other areas?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been fantastic being here. We're saving, you know, 95% of that. And that's huge. I'm 26, you know, I'm kind of a hippie. I've never had that kind of money in my life. And it's really nice. You know, it's really nice. It allows us to travel whenever we want. You know, I can go back to visit my family whenever we want. And, you know, we can do whatever we want from where we're at right now. And if we continue to scale that, you know, it's only going to get more free in that sense. So it's a really good position to be in. And, you know, I was at a bar last night with some friends, and I was able to just buy everybody a couple rounds, and those are things that I like to do. You know, it's like and not even have to worry about it. You know, so
awesome.
Yeah.
Stuff. What do you kind of like about working, you know, with me and being a part of the program? What's your kind of experience being there? What are the things that stand out to you to being like, you know, this is a solid part?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, like I said, obviously the information that you provide and the course is extremely valuable for getting a foundation to start your business online, you know, and the training to be able to do that is very valuable. You teach everything that you need to know, from starting up, you know, your brand to learning how to actionably do the things that we do. And then, you know, I think for me, the most important and most valuable part of this is the mastermind group, where we're all able to learn on a peer-to-peer basis, where we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other. You know, if I ever have a question about a client of mine who has XYZ problem, I post it in the group, and I got 5 people that are doing the same thing that reach out and comment on the post and say, hey man, you know, I just had this last week. This is what I did. And so that's like super valuable, because it's like sitting in a board meeting with all of your, you know, people in your company when you're just alone, you know. A lot of startups do not have that kind of access, right? They're just in it alone. So it's a pretty unique opportunity.
Awesome, man. And what would you say to somebody who's thinking about joining us, who's watching this, been sitting on the fence, hasn't taken it yet? What would you say to that person?
Yeah, so I would say just be prepared to buckle down and study the coursework, and then put it into action. You know, you've got to be willing to do the work. You know, I didn't get to where I am today just by kind of like kicking around on the internet. You know, like I actually do work. I can work wherever I want, and I have the ability to grow, but I still have to do the work for my clients. So you do have to be willing to study and be willing to do that. But if you are, you know, the sky is the limit as far as that goes.
You are obviously one of, well, many people now who are testimony to the fact that you put in the work, you follow the instructions, and obviously you persist until you actually see success as well in the first place.
Yeah, persistence is key. I mean, I've been doing this for 8 months, and there were times where I was doing like on and off, and it was like, oh, I'm living on an island, I'm gonna go drink beer and not work very much, you know, and that happens sometimes. But when I really decided, yeah, when I decided, I was like, it's time to turn it on, it was,
Well, turn
I
into a
would,
tap on now.
yeah, exactly. So, it's a good thing.
Good man. Well, you deserve all of the success you've had, and obviously continued success in the future. So I'd just like to say, obviously, on behalf of me and everybody who's watching this, thank you very much for taking the time out to speak to us, to share your journey. Keep working hard, man. Big things coming, and I'm sure you're just going to continue to grow as an entrepreneur as well. So, massive respect to you, man. Really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the group.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.